take the spring clip off. If you get in behind here, there's a little hole, and you can lever it off. It comes in that way. So these little hook pliers are quite good, and then you can just push it in, pushing it that way, and it will come out. So there's 2 screws that you need to undo. They're Allen keys. That size there, I think it's a 7.
Let's move on, 'cause it's time to move on.
Just remove these little caps. And the screws that you want to undo, so they're on the inside of here. So in here it's like a little rubber cover, and then there's one further down which is just there, that one there. So 7mm, and they're slide bolts, so you can just undo those and then the brakes will come out. Pushing the end of the thread out there. You don't have to take them out, but just to give you an idea, this is what they look like. Alright. You can maybe put a little bit of copper grease on there when you put it back. Just keep them in there so you know where they are. Then do the bottom one. There's the bottom one there. Okay, now just give this a bit of a wiggle. It should. You're just trying to get past this, you know, the lip that you get on the edge of the disc. Yeah, it starts to just be, it catches the pad, so you just need to give it a little bit of movement and then it will come free. There you go. Alright, and there we are. Just watch the lines, watch the brake lines. One side of the car, usually the driver's side, will have the brake sensor, which is just a wire that once it starts to wear down, it will touch the brake disc and then it will cause a light to come on your dash. But as you can see, these are absolutely at the limit. But what's nice about them is that they've worn really, really well. Nice and even. So let's get these off and get the new ones on. That's the piston side. So now we've got to push this back, which is obviously the cylinder for the brakes. So there are special tools, you don't have to use them. I like to try and use what I've got, saves having to waste any more money. So I've just got a clamp here. I'm just going to push that back. Said, make sure you don't leave this hanging down because you don't want to damage the brake line. And just keep turning the clamp until it doesn't go anymore. It's about there. Okay, that'll do. That'll give you enough space to get the new pads. I like to put a bit of copper grease on. I only put the bare minimum though. I don't like to put too much on, otherwise it just adds more dirt. And then some on the other face. so that the brake pads can just have that movement. This helps. That's really all it needs. I'll put a little bit on these sliders, why not? Just a little. That'll do. Good. Right, so brake pads I'm using today are some Brembos. Put these on other cars. I tend to find that they're actually pretty good in terms of wear, but also they don't leave a lot of brake dust, which is what I like about them. So you can see the difference here. If I get the old pad or the new pad, there's the old and there's the new. So probably this will last now, or for the life of the car, I would think. Another little thing I like to do is get yourself a little pen. And I like to write the date so I know when I last changed them. So September 21. Okay, let's get these on. Obviously the spring side, that's that side, is the one that goes in the piston. I'll put a little bit of Right. And installation is just reverse. Pretty simple, really. As I said, if you've got a brake sensor, make sure you put the sensor back into the pad. Otherwise you need to do this again. I like to leave the top one loose until I got the bottom one in. Okay, now I can tighten it fully. And the top one. Okay, I'm going to put the little caps back on. And that's you done. Oh, nice. This will tighten up as you put more pressure on the brake. Then the caliper will push out and the brakes will then lock onto the disc. But these are designed to move. They have to move. Otherwise, as the brakes wear, then it wouldn't work properly. So that's it. All done. Lastly, I forgot the little anti-rattle spring. So a little tip to put these on is if you start with the outer ones first and get those in place like that, and then with the middle bit just kind of push it in. Like that, and that's it. That stops it rattling. There. All done.
Let's move on, 'cause it's time to move on.